Until that is figured out, I'm going to play some music. Let me know when you're there.
I'm here, vibing.
Nice. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So, today we have a very special space, I think, because, well, so far we've been just talking, but
Yeah.
now let's see some action. So, I think you have some good news for the community, and I would like you to jump right in and listen to your good news.
Do you want me to start out with the news, or we go over some other things as well, and we can keep it for the end of the spaces?
That's probably best. That's probably best. Let's tease a little, talk about what has happened so far and what we're working towards, and then you can drop the bombs
Sure.
in a metaphorical way, of course.
In a metaphorical way, absolutely. So I think this afternoon I dropped a message in the chat that sometimes I wish I could take everyone along for a day of all the things that are happening on the background and all the moving parts that are coming together. I think we had a great week with great spaces. I think last Wednesday was very cool when North Node Damien joined the spaces and shared his insight. But today, I think today was the most exciting day of this week for me personally, because a lot of things came together, and it's very exciting. Uh, I had a development update sync call with the dev team, and it was quite exciting to go over with the roadmap, the planning, and the announcement that we're about to make. And I just want to share some insight on what's happening on that part. And also would like to mention that the note the dedication of the development team. I think we should consider ourselves very lucky with this development team, because over the last couple of months, they've surprised me very often. You can imagine, if you work with a development team, you need to be lucky to meet the right developers that can actually build the product that you envision, but also um, not just take the plan that you're proposing for granted and just build it as is. But these guys are take very a very huge ownership and pride in the product that are they are building. It's incredible for us. Now imagine, I've had numerous times in the last 6 months that we were building the MEV bot, and these guys are in our time zone. And I woke up in the morning. I had messages in the middle of the night of the developer. He said, "I found some ways to increase our competitive advantage and gas efficiency." So I was trying it out and deployed a new contract, and we're testing right now. So that's incredibly exciting for us, that there's a lot of ownership and pride in the product that they are building. So that's very cool to see. Now, um, before I start rambling off about all these things and how excited I am, I want to take mention to you guys that I've seen the updated roadmap that is being built. And um, when we started this project and launched our token, we were initially planning, and our strategy was to build community and then release the full product at once. And that obviously that would take some time, because we have quite a full suite of tools that we want to build, and we wanted to perfect that and test it thoroughly and then release it all at once. But we also came to the realization from feedback from the community partners, etc., that it's very beneficial for the end product and for the community to include everybody stakeholders, that's the community or partners, KOLs, etc., to include them in that process of development and improving the product as you go along. So that meant that we split up our product into smaller iterations that we can release to in testing phases and release to the public, and then we attach the different utilities as we develop them. So we continuously improve the project. You can somewhat imagine as in some kind of equivalent of building in public, for instance. So,
I mean, if I may just jump in, this is the way, right? This is the way good software is actually released to the public, where, especially when you write B2B software, where you give a skeleton with a few features to your client, and then they get to test it, they get to work it, they get to give you their feedback, and then that feedback is incorporated, and more features come in, more and more features come in, and the thing grows and grows and grows, and the stakeholders always have a say in it. It's basically like a custom software that is being built with a plan. The company has its plan, but then also, like, all the stakeholders, all the users, they get to be part of the building process, which is actually such an exciting journey for them as well. And I'm so happy to hear that you guys actually chose to go that route rather than just giving the finished product, which would have been probably also good, but it would have taken much longer. The community would have not had as much say in it. So that's a very bullish way of going about it, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And even though we have thought about, put a lot of thought in our products and UI, etc., I think it also goes with a lot of assumptions with what we think the end user would like. And like you mentioned, it's better to pivot to including the user in that process, so you can actually find out what the user really likes and get that feedback straight away, and that probably shaves down a lot of development time as well.
Exactly. Plus, I mean, as you're doing like test-driven development and feedback-driven development, you can be sure that your product actually ends up becoming better than what can only come out of your head and the developer's head, because in the end, the users are those that will actually use it.
Yeah.
So they might as well actually tell you what they think. And oftentimes it's a product comes out, and then the company just hopes that the users likes it, but it's like a black box. You throw it somewhere and you have no idea whether they actually like it or not, how they use it, and so forth. Whereas in this approach, you get to take in feedback, you get to adopt through that feedback, you get to do it better and better and better. And I think that's so much more valuable and so much more professional. And it also shows how professional you guys are looking at this whole product venture that you're endeavoring into.
Absolutely. And we've gotten quite a bit of feedback so far already about certain ideas and features we can include into the end product as well. We're very confident about our entire back end and our infrastructure, and how we've designed that complete part, and the UI and other utilities that the end user could think of, that would be just improve our general product immensely, I can imagine. Yeah,
that's very exciting. So you mentioned that you had a clear look and understanding of what the roadmap looks like, also going forward. Would you want to just like touch on a few things without getting too detailed or give too many details away, especially not timelines, because we all know that can change, but like just give certain hints as to what is actually being developed already right now and what's on the roadmap?
Yeah, absolutely. Currently, we have deployed last week. We've demonstrated our MEV bot, our proof of concept right there, that's running, and we have on our roadmap to optimize that further after we release the other products. Our full focus is going into the other products to include and alpha and beta testing, and after that we focused development resources on furthering the optimization of the MEV bot. A lot of things has, if you look at the roadmap, all the things that have been developed mostly are MEV bot related. That took months to develop, and dozens and hundreds of tasks to complete. Now, right now, a lot of development is focused on the Tradeception, which is the sniper and trader, and combining that with the MEV bot. So for the roadmap, I can mention that we have deployed our own router contract, which we are testing, which includes now of the latest update Uniswap v2 logic, but also v3 logic, minor tips, the bribes that you see with sniping, block reorg protection. We're currently developing 2 snipe tokens in the first block, like block 0 sniping, manual trading, buying and selling, and that type of stuff. Also, the web UI is on its way. That's in current progress. And if we look a bit further out, we'll be looking at for OPA beta testing, infrastructure upgrades, full database collection, better secrets managers for very safe private key management, health checks for the bots, and all the combinations for the sniper bot, sandwich MEV bot, and Telegram web UI, etc. But also, I can't mention any timeline, but also, for instance, flash swap arbitrage. That's
that sounds interesting. What's that about?
Flash swap arbitrage is I think arbitrage is a very common trading tool which takes advantage of price discrepancies between multiple vendors or pools. For example, the easiest way is if you compare the price of a Uniswap V2 pool and a V3 pool, because they are both different liquidity pools. There could be a difference in price, and you would sell in one pool and buy in the other pool simultaneously. And there's that's an MEV strategy, so there's extractable value there. But that can expand into multiple ventures as well, or multiple hops with different tokens. Arbitrage is there are different categories of arbitrage. You have statistical arbitrage, triangular arbitrage, all different types of arbitrage here. And flash swap arbitrage is where you can borrow the token from the liquidity pool and then perform the arbitrage, and in the same transaction pay it back. So it's like a flash loan, but it's called flash swap in there. So it's very interesting. We will be running that on the project side probably, because it's more efficient to do so than for the each individual user. We will be looking into how we can do that for individual users, but for the testing phase, that would be on the project side.
Interesting. So the project side will then, as we've spoken in the past, the project, whatever the project and the treasury starts accumulating, it will also go back to the user's pocket. So it's not like lost money. That's fantastic. And I mean, if any of that combination actually drips down to the users themselves, then it's even more fantastic. So okay, so what are we looking at right now, and how does the timeline, or what's the perspective right now from going forward for the next few days or next few weeks? Like, what's going to happen now, because I think everybody's hot. Everybody's seeing that you guys purchased an ENS. The ENS is active. It's been printing money. The community has been sharing like screenshots of transactions that went through, and the treasury has been making money. So what's going to happen now from now on?
So we are now looking at rolling out our closed alpha testing phase, and after that we'll follow closed beta testing, and after that we'll have open beta testing. But first, the closed alpha testing, which will include the a select group that is able to be onboarded and test the first functionalities of our trading bot, and that would be partners, KOLs, but I know the marketing lead, Rio, and the community managers, Daniel and Roland, are planning for a community member to onboard as well. So they'll be communicating some type of activity so we can onboard a community member as well to test that out. Now, the closed alpha testing would mean that we would test functionalities like approving to the MEV bot, buying and selling of tokens, creating a wallet in the Telegram bot, and it's based on functionality testing with multiple users and providing feedback on some UI functionalities and how we can improve that. So it's a skeleton version that we would like to test. And after that feedback, it would go into development to improve and re-roll into the closed beta testing, which would be a larger group, obviously.
Wow, that's amazing. So when is this going to drop so people will actually get this in their own hands? Because I mean, like I said, so far a lot of talking, a lot of showing, obviously a lot of show and tell, but it was still in your hands. And because it was in your hands, there may have been still the slightest form of doubt, even though, I mean, by now you've proven so much. But now that it goes into like third parties and they will be collecting data, they will be showing what they're doing on chain, then there cannot be any doubt anymore. So when is this going to happen?
This is planned for December 22nd at the latest. And so if we can over deliver, we will. But it's currently planned for December 22nd to start onboarding for the closed alpha testing.
Well, that's next week Friday, so that's soon enough for me. I mean, I'm very happy to get my fingers on this and start testing. And you actually told me something that I find very extremely bullish and also very professional, as to how are you going to, like, the whole thing about the wallets, and like, how are you actually going to distribute the software to the different testers? What does that mean? Like, how will it unfold? Will they risk their own money and all of that story? If you could go into that, that would be very interesting.
Yeah. So I think I mentioned a little bit before that the secure private key management that is still in development. So when we run alpha testing group, obviously we don't want anything to happen with those user funds, even though they're close partners, etc. We're very careful with that type of stuff. So the onboarded people will be able to generate a new wallet or import a fresh wallet of their own, and we would fund that from the treasury for them to try the product out. And there's no risk of personal funds by exposing their keys or funds or whatever. So we take full responsibility of our product right there.
That's fantastic. So let's say, you fund the wallet that I'm testing with, and I'm going to be playing with it and making money on it. Who gets the reward of that testing? Wouldn't that be like a reward that the tester should get?
So For the wallets that we funded that way for the usage.
Yeah.
Sure. I think that would be like we roll that into beta testing as well. But that's the I assume the cost of testing right there. So we would have a set parameters that would need to be completed for the closed alpha, and we roll that into the closed beta as well. So we need to build in safeguards so we don't fund the wallet, and there's a transfer button, and that's it with the testing. We do need some activity right there, but when that testing phase is over, I think those users should keep those funds that are in that wallet. Yes.
That's fantastic, man. So basically, you're paying people to test your software, and it's risk free. I think that's really, really great. The community gets an insight through third party hands, and that's even more bullish than you guys testing it, and it kind of goes around the whole ability of the team being able to somehow LARP a story, because at that point it's out of your hands, and that's going to be really, really good.
Absolutely, I agree.
So okay, that's great. So next week is going to drop the alpha, the alpha testing phase. And how will you decide who will be eligible for this closed alpha group? And then what do we expect after that? So if on Friday you're going to drop the closed alpha, and then when will we move into closed beta, open beta? Just roughly, I mean, you don't have to give the exact dates, but just roughly, like, what do you expect? And then also, in what time cycles will new features be added to the bot that has been already tested?
Okay, so those are two questions. One is when we roll out the next phase for the beta testing. Obviously, Friday is the 22nd, and we get a holiday season, etc. So that kind of depends on the feedback and activity we get on in that period. So if we get a decent amount of feedback, so we can improve on those, then the closed beta testing could be very close. So I would say that would be in a matter of 2 weeks or so. And the rollout of new features, those would be, the feedback would be collected, and probably you'll see improvements on a daily basis, because that's being done right now as well. Feedback is being collected on some parts of the task that are still being completed to prepare for the alpha, and that's being ticked off quite rapidly. So we would collect that, and you probably see a daily or every other day, depends on the hard test.
Perfect. Sounds great. Well, I'm excited. I mean, that's, to me, certainly, I mean, we've been speaking for 2 weeks. There was a lot of detail, like I said, but now we're going into action mode, and that's a very exciting phase to go into.
Absolutely, we're very excited about that. Those are not the only things I'm very excited about. I'm sure, I think Simon is in this chat as well. We had a very interesting conversation this afternoon about the future of the project and how we can improve on some things. And I'm very excited about other stuff, which I can't disclose yet, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So that's great. So let's see it. I would say let's see it. Let's see if anybody would like to actually come up and has a question. I'm seeing some great people here. I'm seeing CRG. I'm seeing Skull. I'm seeing Ian. I'm seeing Broods here. Welcome, Broods. Gems of Ra, Pope is here. Dr. DeFi, great to have you again. Simon is here. Welcome. Yeah, if anybody would like to come up, say one or two things, I'd be happy to extend that floor to you, and then we'll take it from there. Sunhaux, if I say your name correctly, if not, excuse me, but you can unmute yourself and you can speak if you want. You requested to speak. I allowed you to speak. I guess there was an accident. That's fine. Well, I wish everybody a great weekend. We're going to talk very soon. And I look forward to next week when we start testing with third parties. Okay, there's some requests. Awesome. Pope, come on. You should be able to speak now. Pope, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. One thing I'm gonna comment, not gonna ask a question, but I've been watching the Mev doing the work today, and I seen transaction that scoop two opportunities in one block. One was on V2 liquidity, and one was on V3. So that's crazy. I've been watching Mavs lately, and that alone is a big improvement. And I'm seeing a lot of upside from here with the development. We are competing with the Jared pretty good, and the Mav is finding a lot of opportunities lately. So
I'm not sure. I think I lost you there, Pope, for a moment, but I think everybody heard what you said about it. The Accept Mev competing with Jared and actually like taking some of his opportunities, which is very bullish. Seeing all the opportunities that it takes, and you're excited, just as excited as everyone else, I think, to get your hands on it. Anyone else would like to say something? Please step up. I'm gonna leave it open for another 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and then we move on.
Disco record.
All right, I guess that's it. Let's call it a day. I wish everyone a great weekend. Thanks for showing up. Oh, Blondie. Okay, come on. It's always in the last moment when I say goodbye. Go ahead. Go ahead, Blondie. You can unmute yourself. You can speak.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
How are you?
So I just wanted to say that everything in this project is just exceptional. So yeah, I implore everyone to join us and on the journey.
You're doing an exceptional job in the community, I just want to say.
Absolutely.
You're
Thank
doing
you.
an exceptional job, as a team, as speakers, everything is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think there's an amazing team assembled here, and yeah, I'm very happy. So okay, well, let's see the action. I wish you all a great weekend. Thanks for showing up.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for the information on the closed alpha testing, closed beta testing from our marketing manager, Rio.
Thanks,
awesome.
Bro.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mavit, baby.